Okay, let's unpack this one. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a really unique source. It's a personal account, Your Life is Waiting, Overcoming Panic and Anxiety by Rafe R. Martin.
Yeah, and what's great about this is it's not, a dry medical text.
Right.
It's this raw, really honest story. An average Joe, as he puts it, who had debilitating panic agoraphobia for 3 years.
3 years. And he got through it, emerged, totally changed. And key point, without medication.
Which is fascinating, yeah. And his journey, it's just so relatable. It kind of challenges some of the usual ways we think about these conditions, doesn't it?
It really does.
So our mission today really is to pull out the most important bits of insight from his experience. Focus on how he actually regained his life from fear.
And what that might mean for you listening.
Exactly.
You'll hear about, well, some surprising triggers, the daily grind of it all, and the very specific things he did, the techniques he developed to get back in control.
So yeah, what can we learn from this really personal and ultimately triumphant story?
Let's dive in. So Rafe, our guide here, he sets the scene. Typical guy, 38, middle class. Life looked pretty good on the surface.
Yeah, new job at IBM, just moved, supportive marriage, career taking off.
He was even working out, building computers on the side, putting his wife through college. He said he thought he could do it all.
Which makes you think, right, how does someone who seems to have it all together suddenly get hit with something so crippling?
It really makes you question what's going on underneath.
Yeah, and it kind of sets up what he discovers later about the real root causes. It's not always what you'd expect.
Okay, so here's where it gets intense. The first panic attack hits him on a totally normal Saturday, just driving to the mall. He describes his heart just pounding like crazy.
Oh, it's going to explode, he says.
Yeah, shortness of breath. He went pale, dizzy, thinking,
I'm having a heart attack.
I gotta get out of here.
That classic panic symptom misinterpretation. It's terrifying.
The symptoms passed, but then, bam, later that night at a concert, it came back even worse.
Led to a frantic ER trip.
Exactly.
And this part's crucial. The doctor checks him out, gives him a clean bill of health, physically.
Which you'd think would be reassuring.
Right, but it wasn't the heart. Diagnosis, anxiety attack from stress. But knowing that didn't fix it for him. In fact, that's when the real fear started to creep in.
He says the next day, Sunday, was just miserable. Woke up trembling, this weird tightness in his chest.
Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep.
Just haunted by that thought, when's the next one going to hit me?
His body literally wouldn't let him sleep. He was afraid he'd die if he did.
That constant dread, the anticipation, plus being exhausted from no sleep. It's a vicious cycle.
Absolutely. The doctor offered Xanax. It gave some temporary relief, but...
But Rafe really didn't like pills. He wanted a real solution, not just masking the symptoms. That becomes a big theme.
It really does.
And his life just started shrinking. Fear took over. He talks about driving only in the right lane on the freeway.
Just in case he needed to pull over fast.
Yeah. Leaving work meetings in a panic. Eventually calling in sick for weeks.
The financial pressure mounted too, right? Had to move in with his in-laws.
Yeah, and he describes his absolute worst panic attack during that move. 5 miles from an exit, just feeling totally trapped, helpless.
God, that paints such a clear picture of how panic and agoraphobia can just constrict your world.
Agoraphobia. Will you explain that a bit?
Sure. It's basically an intense fear of places or situations where escape might be difficult or help unavailable if you have a panic attack. So you start avoiding things.
Like Rafe did. He developed these safe zones.
Right. Home, maybe his cubicle at work, places he felt a bit less scared.
And the further he got from those zones,
the worse the anxiety got. He mentioned such relatable things, avoiding grocery store lines.
Always mapping routes to the nearest hospital.
Even stopping exercise because a faster heart rate felt like the start of an attack.
Wow. And the Xanax.
He carried it, like you said, an emergency parachute, but he rarely took it.
Because of the rebound stages.
Exactly. He felt worse after it wore off. So it wasn't a real solution for him.
And emotionally, he kept it all secret.
Yeah, deep embarrassment, afraid of being seen as mentally unstable.
He tells this story about being at the movies with a friend and faking a stomachache just to leave, rather than admit he was panicking.
Oh, it's heartbreaking, feeling cheated out of life.
Yeah, and it led to a deep depression, just envying normal people living their lives.
It's a dark place to be.
So Rafe hits absolute rock bottom. His safe zone shrinks down to just 3 rooms in his in-laws' house.
Barely functional.
Then comes this moment. Standing on the front porch, terrified.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified to walk, what, 20 yards to the mailbox?
Just 20 yards seems like nothing, but for him, it was Everest.
And this wave of fear hits him, but also deep self-pity. And then something shifts.
Anger.
Yeah. Anger. He thought, am I really going to let this thing rob me of my life?
That's such a critical turning point. That shift from feeling like a victim to defiance.
It's like reclaiming some power.
Exactly. Psychologically, that's often when agency kicks back in. He realized maybe he didn't choose the panic, but he could choose how to respond. He realized he was allowing it in a way, and only he could change it.
So with this new determination, he just marched to that mailbox.
Feeling those panic waves like demons, as he put it.
But he refused to stop, touched the mailbox,
Yeah?
and declared right then and there, this is the day I get my life back.
Wow. Powerful moment.
A real conscious decision. But okay, deciding is one thing. He still needed answers. He needed a plan.
And his search for answers? Oh, it highlights a frustration a lot of people feel.
How so?
He looked for others who'd recovered without pills, but support groups seemed full of people who'd sort of accepted their condition.
Resigned to it.
Yeah, and doctors just kept offering medication for a supposed chemical imbalance.
Which felt too simple, maybe.
Well, it's a common explanation, but it doesn't always capture the whole picture, and it wasn't the root solution he was looking for.
He even quotes his family doctor telling him, basically, it's 1998. Take the pill and feel better, or don't and be miserable. Your choice.
Ooh, that's blunt.
He refused.
Yeah.
He wanted to understand why. Even a psychologist, while reassuring, hadn't personally experienced panic.
So Rafe felt like, how much stock can I put in this advice if they haven't actually been there?
Right. Which pushed him into reading. A lot.
And that's where things started clicking. He learned about the fight or flight response.
Your body's natural alarm system.
Exactly. And the big insight, a panic attack, however awful it feels, isn't you going crazy. It's your body's correct response system, just firing at the wrong time. A false alarm.
Understanding that must have taken away some of the mystery, the terror.
Hugely important step.
No.
Demystification. Then he started noticing patterns, common personality traits among people with agoraphobia.
Like what?
Things like perfectionism, being a people pleaser, constant worrying, being non-assertive.
And here's the real kicker. He realized he had those traits. All of them. All his life.
Bingo. The aha moment. These weren't just quirks. They were self-defeating, stress-causing personality traits.
So the panic wasn't random. It was connected to him, to how he operated.
Right. Which led to his two-front battle plan. 1, handle the panic attacks directly. 2, change those underlying stress-building traits.
Okay, so the first step in actually doing something about it, he developed a vision.
Not just vaguely hoping to be normal again.
No, like a really clear, vivid picture. Seeing himself driving, shopping, succeeding at work.
Riding a roller coaster, giving a speech, things that seemed impossible then.
He had to believe this vision like it was already true.
Yeah, and that vision became his fuel.
Wow.
Because he realized something else important.
What's that?
That anytime you set out to do something good, you are going to be met with resistance, setbacks, doubt, fear they were going to happen.
So expect them.
Expect them, and actually see them as proof you're on the right track, pushing boundaries. It's a powerful reframing of struggle.
Okay, so to fight the actual panic attacks when they happened, he created this panic first aid kit.
Yeah, a really practical multi-step thing he could use in the moment.
What was in it?
Okay, first, eliminating negative thoughts. Not just wishing them away, but actively, consciously replacing the scary ones with positive, rational ones, like CBT principles.
Retraining the brain, basically.
Exactly. Second, deep breathing. Correcting that shallow, rapid panic breathing. He focused on breathing in calm, breathing out tension, directly calms the nervous system.
Makes sense.
Third, positive affirmations. He actually carried a list on a note card, read them aloud.
What kind of things?
Crucially, one was, I am the same person right now as I am when I'm in my safe zone. He'd visualize the safe zone, feel its calm, remind himself his body was fine. It was just his thoughts creating fear.
That's clever. Anchoring back to safety.
Yeah. Others were like, I am not having a heart attack. I am perfectly healthy. I'm not going to die from this. I am in control. I am calm. I am at peace. Reinforcing reality over fear.
And the fourth element.
Still the Xanax, tucked away as that absolute last resort, the emergency parachute.
But rarely used because of the rebound.
Right. Shows his commitment to finding another way.
It's really impressive, the agency he took. And he also focused on this idea of the stress bucket. Tell us about that.
He pictured everyone having a bucket for stress, right? Different sizes for different people.
Okay.
And it fills up from, normal daily hassles, maybe big, major life stressors, and also these internal stressors, the ones coming from our own personalities and reactions.
And when the bucket overflows,
That's when panic can hit.
he figured his own bucket overflowed because he had 3 huge external stressors pile up fast.
Yeah, the new marriage, new job with promotion, the move, plus side gigs, being the sole provider. That's a lot.
Definitely.
But, and this is key, he really zeroed in on the internal stressors, the ones he actually had some control over.
Those personality traits again.
Exactly, like non-assertiveness, that inability to say no, always avoiding conflict.
He gives examples like eating the wrong food at a restaurant to avoid fuss.
Or letting a kid wreck his new bike without saying anything. He realized he had just turned it on like a light switch. 5 seconds of saying no was way better than days of stress later.
Makes sense. What else?
Perfectionism, always needing things flawless, doing other people's work, agonizing over tiny details.
Stressful.
Totally. He learned to accept good as good enough. Asked himself, is beating myself up over this tiny detail really worth my health?
Good question.
Then borderline OCD stuff, checking locks repeatedly, excessive hand washing, obsessive organizing.
How'd he tackle that?
He just stopped, told himself it's locked, don't check again, and forced himself to move on, breaking the cycle.
Also, overcommitting, making on too much, trying to please everyone.
Leading to more stress when things didn't get done or got done poorly.
And finally, worry.
Yeah. His motto for this became, so what?
Seriously.
Yeah, he applied it to everything, even debt. Realized the act of worrying wasn't helping, it was just costing him his health and his life enjoyment. A huge mental shift.
So changing these fundamental parts of his character, his reactions, was crucial for emptying that stress bucket.
Absolutely critical. But the biggest internal stressor remaining
Was the fear itself. Fear of the next attack, fear of leaving the safe zone.
the core of the agoraphobia, which led him straight to the exposure technique.
Okay, explain exposure.
It's a standard, very effective technique. Basically, you gradually, systematically expose yourself to the things you fear and avoid in a controlled way to desensitize yourself.
Starting small.
Definitely. His ultimate goal was ambitious. The whole world would become my safe zone.
Wow.
So he set these specific exposure goals, baby steps. First, daily goal, just get in the car, start it, back down the driveway, sit there till he felt okay.
Next stage.
Drive around the block, then maybe to the grocery store parking lot, tackle sitting at red lights, then just sit in the parked car at the store.
Gradually increasing the challenge.
Right, then go inside for a minute,
Yeah.
then stay longer, then stand in line, bit by bit.
He compares it to bodybuilding.
Yeah, consistent daily effort builds that mental muscle. Skip a day, and it feels harder to start again. Persistence is key.
And his ultimate goal, the big one.
Was to fly to Disney World for his 10th anniversary and ride Space Mountain.
Did he do it?
He did. And he even rode the Tower of Terror, which,
That's intense.
right. His wife looked at him afterwards and just said, Rafe, you are well.
That must have been incredible. Undeniable proof.
The ultimate validation of his hard work.
Amazing story. But look, recovery is rarely a straight line, right? He must have had setbacks.
Oh, yeah. He calls them setbacks days, sometimes weeks, where the panic symptoms would just come roaring back unexpectedly.
And the first instinct was...
Run back to the safe zone, feel like a failure, hopeless.
Right.
But here's another incredible mental shift. He started treating setbacks not as defeats, but as milestones of progress.
How does that work?
He planned for them, expected them, and eventually he actually started to look forward to them.
Look forward to setbacks.
Because, he said, each time they came, they got weaker and weaker. It turned into a kind of game, and he knew he was ultimately winning.
That reframing is powerful. Seeing challenges as part of the win.
It's resilience in action.
So, beyond these core techniques, he offers some other practical advice for you, the listener.
Yeah, find a support person, someone who really gets it, who you can lean on.
Crucial. And don't dwell on the fear. Keep replacing it with that positive vision. Focus on your goals.
Also, watch what you put in your mouth. He specifically mentions avoiding caffeine and alcohol.
Why those?
Well, caffeine is a stimulant, can mimic anxiety symptoms, and alcohol, while it might seem relaxing initially, often has a rebound effect later, increasing anxiety.
Good point. And finally,
Celebrate your victories. Every single one, no matter how small it seems. Acknowledge your progress.
looking back at his whole journey, what was the big takeaway for him?
He saw the whole thing as a profound wake-up call. He realized the panic wasn't random bad luck. He'd simply pushed himself past his stress limit, largely due to those internal traits.
And the transformation went beyond just not panicking.
Oh, totally. He became, in his words, goal-driven, confident, fearless, assertive, but also patient, compassionate, and calm. He learned the vital difference between caring about things and worrying obsessively about them.
So wrapping this up, what does Rafe's story mean for you listening?
His message is incredibly hopeful. He says, flat out, if I can do this, anyone can.
It's proof that taking control, fighting that fear, claiming a new life, it is possible.
Yeah, this deep dive really shows that getting over debilitating anxiety isn't just about managing symptom, it's a whole transformation.
It takes that conscious decision, like his mailbox moment.
Right. Building that mental and practical toolkit, addressing those deep-seated personality patterns.
And just consistently pushing those boundaries little by little.
He ends his story with this really powerful call to action.
What does he say?
He says, get fed up, make a decision, change your life now. You have the power. You are in control. Now go out there and claim your new life.
Wow, strong words.
Which really leaves us with a question for you, doesn't it?
What that?
What small, determined step could you take today, even if it feels as small or as scary as reaching for your own mailbox?
The journey might feel tough.
But as Rafe shows us, the personal growth, the freedom you can reclaim, that's absolutely priceless.